It is Monday, July 28th, 2025, and I call to order the Farmers Branch Local Government Corporation meeting. Our first order of business is public comments. We do not have any, so we will move on to agenda item C1, which is approving the January 7th, 2025 Farmers Branch Local Government Corporation meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
I have a motion to approve the minutes from January 7th, 2025, agenda item 25569.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Burton,
I second.
from Board Member Alvarado, so the item is approved. And,
No, we need to vote.
oh, I'm sorry. We need to vote. I have a second. Now we need to vote. So all in favor, say aye. Aye. So motion passes. Now we move to item C2, which is consider the appointment of officers, the officers of president, vice president, secretary, I guess just those three for the Farmers Branch Local Government Corporation. I personally do not feel comfortable being president of this board because I am the accounting manager in the finance department and I am responsible for transferring the money in the city's bank accounts from the FBLGC to the city's accounts back and forth. And so I do not believe it would look well for me to be also signing documents for the FBLGC. So we probably should have someone else as president.
I'll nominate myself.
So Mayor Lynn nominates himself. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Councilwoman Burton's a second, so all in favor say aye. Aye. So motion passes unanimously.
I would nominate Councilwoman Bennett to be vice president.
Okay, and I will second that. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So Councilwoman Bennett Burton will be our vice president, and for secretary, do we have a nomination?
Okay. You want to?
I'll nominate Jessica Alvarado, is that it, for secretary?
And I will second that. So all in
Second.
favor of Jessica Alvarado, say aye.
Aye.
So motion passes unanimously. So our president is Mayor Lynn, our vice president is Councilwoman Bennett Burton, and our secretary is Jessica Alvarado. So I will pass the gavel to our new president.
Wow, that was quick. Okay. All right, well, thank you very much. Next order of business is item C3, discuss and consider authorizing the negotiation and execution of an amendment or an amended purchase sale agreement, owner sales contract, and restriction agreement to purchase from the city of Farmers Branch and to sell real property located at 1349 through 1399 Valley View Lane.
So used to being up here and saying mayor and council, but members of the local government corporation. Ben Williamson, city manager, helping you through this brief presentation. I'll try and be as efficient as Pam was getting us to this point in the agenda. There's the subject property, 1349 and 1399 Valley View Lane. Many of y'all know this as the old Citizen Collection Center, former landfill site as well. A little bit of history there. So you can see this was originally transferred to the local government corporation in December 2024. It then was rezoned by the city through the LGC, went through P&Z on February 10th, 2025, and then City Council February 25th, 2025. The request before you today is an amendment to the purchase sale agreement and the restricting agreement for this property. Right now, we're looking at the timeline. They're working with TCEQ, which we all know can take some time and sometimes a lot of time. And so what they're asking for is that extension on the timeline from July 31st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025. They have completed the phase 1 and geotechnical study. They're waiting to have permission from TCEQ to puncture the cap, which means they're going to drill down in through the protective layer that's on there and find out what's underneath and what's been basically dumped in that location. This is information that we get as the city as well, so it's very important for us to know this, but because of the delays from TCEQ, they're asking for an extension. And there we are, short and sweet.
Thank you very much, Ben. Does anybody have any questions?
I have one.
Yes, ma'am.
How long, this piece of land was formerly a landfill?
It was not necessarily a landfill, but a brown site where trash was dumped. So a long
Okay.
time ago, back in the day, what would happen is trash would be pushed outside of the major city limits, which would, basically, this is one of those locations that had trash dumped on it. So it's been covered up. So basically an old brown site, which means trash was dumped here and covered and has restricted uses on what you can put on there. So basically nothing with a foundation. So what will happen here is they're checking to see what's in there to make sure it's just basic trash. And then what will happen is remediation to remove, basically dig it all up and get it out of there and reset it as usable land for foundational buildings.
Okay.
So
Ben?
there's trash down there.
And who's going to bear the cost of digging that up and resetting that?
Not the city of Farmers Branch.
Thank you. Okay. Anything else? All right. This item is marked for action, so anybody like to make a motion?
Mayor, I motion to approve agenda item 25566.
A second?
Very good, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Okay. If you would, by show of hands, just all in favor?
Aye.
I'm still voting even though I'm down here.
Yes. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
All right,
All
last
right,
one.
Next up is item C4, which is discuss and consider authorizing negotiation and execution of a purchase sale agreement, owner sales contract, and restriction agreement to purchase from the city of Farmers Branch and to sell real property located at 13309 Josie Lane.
All right, everyone, we have been here before with this piece of property. So to give a little bit of a timeline on the history here, the original purchase sale agreement was January 11th, 2021. We have had 9 meetings over the last 18 months, essentially, 12, 13 months to discuss this property, resulting in action that brings us here today. The original contract from 2021 was terminated in Q1 of 2025. We didn't give a specific date because it's debatable on how you would say when it was canceled, but we do have showing of communication that we did terminate the contract from the attorneys through economic development to the original purchaser on that one. On July 15th, 2025, the council did approve the purchase sale agreement, the restriction agreement, and the sales contract, and also the transfer to the LGC. And so what we're here doing today is it's going to the LGC to authorize the negotiation and execution of these agreements through the LGC with the purchaser. And just for reference on this property, Golfing Green and Josie Lane, that is a city-owned lot currently.
Thank you, Ben. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
So Ben, who are we selling the lot to?
Tom Cusick.
How much are we selling the lot for?
Oh goodness, I'd have to check. It's 600,000. No, oh my gosh, that's the other one. 200,000.
And what was the lot value when we had it assessed?
I believe the assessed value was $660,000.
Okay. And there was no, you said in Q1, we terminated that contract. Was there ever a contract prior to 2021?
Not that we have a record of.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I'll ask, I just want to get clarification. Was there ever a contract prior to where we are today? Is that what you're asking?
No, we had been accused of, there was a contract previously that we as the city negated on, and that was, as the attorneys have told us, that that was not the case. And so that's what I'm clarifying for people.
Well, so back in 2018, I guess, when I was on council, and there was an agreement to sell the property in whatever terms and whatnot. But so there was a contract. I don't think it was ever executed.
Correct.
And so yes, there was a previous contract, but there wasn't. No execution of it. So,
Is that true, Ben?
That would require some research. What I have is what we did recently, which is a lot more recent from our records. And so if you look at the timeline on the right side of the screen that shows meeting dates, that's from a search of our agenda center for 13309. There's one other address that pops up every now and then, but this is the current one. So we really focused on the most recent engagement on this property, which was the January 11, 2021 contract. There were discussions for several years going backwards on that property with the council, but because they were all in executive session, there's no records because no action resulted from it. This was the first time a contract came out of it, but the contract was not met and we shared that the terms weren't met, the contract was terminated.
So, in addition, we're selling this property at less than market value, but the purchaser has agreed to make up that difference with infrastructure that they're putting in at their expense, correct?
They're required to make up the difference, so they're doing it through infrastructure and other elements as well.
Okay. And that infrastructure, streets and whatnot, should far exceed that $400,000 difference.
It should meet the delta, correct?
Okay, all right. I think that's important to note. So nobody thinks that there's any special deal or whatnot happening with this. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions, comments?
No, sir.
Okay. We'll entertain a motion to move forward.
I'll
Mayor,
make,
I was going to say, Mayor Lynn, if you wouldn't mind, because this was a split item on the council, if one of the council
Yes.
members would mind making the motion, so my staff is not caught in the middle of the motion
Yes,
process.
that
They'll
would make
follow
us
the
feel
majority of
more
council's
comfortable.
direction, but the
Okay.
hesitation you're seeing is they recognize this was a split item.
Understood.
They'll do what,
Okay.
we follow the direction, but still, the motion, if it could come from one of the council members, would be more appropriate.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I understand that.
I got you,
Okay. All right, so I will make a motion to approve item 25-567.
All right,
I
Do I
will-
need to read the whole thing?
we should be fine with that one.
Okay,
and I will make a second on that motion.
okay. We have a motion and a second, if you would, show of hands. All in favor? 1, 2, 3. All opposed? 1. Motion carries 4-1. So, okay. I don't have anything else on the agenda for this afternoon. So with that, we will adjourn at 4:12. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, sir.